saw Barbie on the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, the one about the atom bomb.
Yeah, right on. You went to Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. There's just a lot of overlap between those two. I get a bit confused sometimes.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. I think I heard someone say, has 2 movies ever come out before? Has this ever happened? I mean, yes, the answer is yes. But yeah.
The 2 movies that are this similar, though,
they're so similar.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you've seen one, you've seen the other.
Is that right?
Yeah, bombshells.
Bombshells.
All that going off, yeah.
Okay.
No, we did watch.
We did go see Oppenheimer.
We did go see it.
I was thinking, can you spoil history? There are going to be spoilers for Oppenheimer up ahead. So you should see in the link below thing that you can skip the time code ahead if you really want to see this movie. It's a good movie, Christopher Nolan. But we're going to be talking about it a bit because it was sort of mentioned that it is quite historically accurate. And Nolan made a big deal out of making it historically accurate, right?
Mm.
So, in my opinion, you can't really spoil history because we can spoil the movie. So, if you're going to go see the movie, go see the movie. Go on.
It had very high expectations going in. I didn't really have a chance to debrief with you afterwards, but I liked it. But because of my expectations, naturally, it failed to live up to them.
Yeah. Again, what the movie?
Yeah, the movie. I thought that the acting was great.
Yeah, agreed.
The acting was fantastic. It's lots of big actors. They all had a great time.
Doing their best.
It looked lovely. I think everything was good about it. It was just so dialogue heavy. It was just very dialogue-y and jumping around a lot different times. And
it was. I've made this point before, though. If something's making a book version of something into a movie, or in this case, history into a movie, there's going to be a lot of that. Like they focused a lot on the sort of communist links that he had, and it kept coming up and up and up in the movie where you're just like, yeah, we get it. Like we get it. But it was such a big deal. I don't know. It was such a big deal. One of the points that it sort of makes, that Oppenheimer makes in the movie as the character, is he said, aren't we allied with the Russians to beat the Germans? Like, what are we doing? Because they compartmentalized everything. Obviously, the whole creation of the A-bomb was a very big secret.
Mm.
They had to do that. But they weren't sharing with one of their allies, right?
Mm.
Which kicked off the Cold War. People building bigger and crazier bombs, things to kill each other with, right? It's great.
Mm.
Tech innovation.
It was interesting. You're right. It just felt like he was following the historical. It was very educational.
I agree. I know 25% more about that stuff than I did before.
Yeah.
But with Oppenheimer, I will say this. I think my eardrums have permanent damage. The first sort of 10 minutes of the movie is Oppenheimer time traveling in his chair, just in a bath or whatever, just staring off into space, imagining fission, I think, where it goes into his brain and he's just seeing stars imploding and it's fucking loud. And I don't know if the cinema just popped the volume too loud or if Nolan was trying to make up for Tenet, where people thought, man, you can't understand anything these characters are saying because the sound mix is so bad. He just went, fuck yes, fucking turn it up to 11 and blast these people's eardrums into oblivion. Did you have the same thing?
Oh, it was huge. I could feel it in my soul. And I'm surprised there wasn't an epilepsy warning early on.
There probably was.
I think it gave me epilepsy. Can you like get epilepsy from watching something?
I think you can.
Can I acquire the illness?
You just pick
the ailment.
So that was fun watching him trying to be a normal person, but also imagining the craziest shit ever. And is the likeness of the sun imploding, as he was talking about, where the gravity pulls. It starts pulling the light in or something. It starts...
becoming a black hole, yes.
Yeah, and he was trying to prove that or something early in the movie?
I don't know. Apparently, he is well known for actually having a lot of good physics and making some progress with black holes prior to the atom bomb program.
Yeah. Do you think they're linked?
Well, they're both physics at their extremes, aren't they, in some ways?
It's just, you know, I've said it before, but the A-bomb represents just a gnarly leap forward in what we were doing to destroy each other up until that point.
A quantum leap of energy production.
Yeah. Yes.
Rapid energy release.
Yes. And they do sort of go a lot into like the justification of why America did it, you know, why they decided it was the right thing, well, the best course of action, right? To save lives that would have been lost in the Pacific if they had to invade Japan or whatever, which was the plan, I guess. Yeah, and there is a scene where Oppenheimer meets with President Truman, and this is all real, apparently this happened. He met with the president and said, I don't feel good about, you know, this thing, like, or he just said, I've got blood on my hands, right? And Truman apparently gave him a handkerchief and said, essentially, paraphrasing, bro, I've got way more blood on my hands than you, pal. You made the thing. I dropped it.
Yeah, so, I made the kill decision. You just did you just enabled me.
Work. Yeah. And he left the office, and Truman said something like, get that fucking pansy out of my office, essentially.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't fly today. But holy shit. Crazy story. I've got a theory on what the movie's about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, tell me your theory.
Themes and whatnot.
I thought it was just a biopic about Oppenheimer.
Yeah. On the surface, it absolutely is just a straight narrative of the guy's life, right?
Underneath, it's an LSD trip. Yeah, okay. What's going on?
I think that the move, like, you know how Inception, have you seen Inception?
Yes.
Another Nolan film, which goes about representing various aspects of filmmaking. So in the when they're making dreams, they're making movies. You've got your director, who's Leonardo DiCaprio. You've got your set builder, which is Elliot Page, because they can build the environment.
Yes.
Then you've got your actor, Tom Hardy. Then you've got your, you know, all your other jobs. They sort of all represent parts of filmmaking, right? So I wouldn't put it past Nolan to be making another thing. I mean, sometimes, you're just watching a movie, you know. But yeah. This is, you know, I'm going off the deep end on this one.
Yeah, what's he up to?
Well, I think that the creation of the nuke, the science, the building of it, Nolan's saying that that's him. He created a nuke.
Oh, a box office nuke.
A filmmaking nuke, yes.
A filmmaking nuke. What's a filmmaking nuke? Oh, the film is the... Sorry, continue.
No. Oppenheimer, the film, is not the nuke. Okay. Right? He has already nuked. They've nuked with the Dark Knight trilogy, the Batman movies. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises or something.
Massive.
The third one.
Massive energy release associated with those movies.
Yes, into the filmmaking world.
Okay.
Because he made superhero movies gritty and cool instead of really lame and boring, right?
Okay.
Which is what they were becoming. He changed the game.
So that's the atom bomb.
That's the A-bomb.
The A-bomb.
And the nuclear... Because at the end... towards the end of the movie, Oppenheimer has sort of a vision of the future, and it's just nukes going off everywhere. Because he said, we make a nuke, but then someone makes a bigger one, H-bomb, and then someone makes a bigger one, and then someone makes a bigger one. It's just resetting the playing field where it's, you know, this is what we use now, you know? So he just saw Armageddon, right? Not the movie with Bruce Willis. He saw the end of the world, right? That's the same thing I'm doing with this, because he spun off the Marvel McCoo cinematic universe and the DC EU, you know? with his success in the
Wait,
Batman
Nolan.
movies.
So you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So
So
he sort
Nolan,
of
is Oppenheimer, and the nuke is
the Batman.
is the Batman movies, and the competition, the Soviets, if you like, in this case, is your Marvels, who are going
Fucking commie
about
bastards.
creating a filmic Armageddon.
Oh God, yeah, they must be stopped.
Yeah, with the constant upping and upping and upping of the movies. There's something like 37 Marvel movies, right? There's 3 Nolan Batmans and there's 40 odd.
Are they using these nukes on the public, or are they just testing? Oh my God!
Well, I think they were on the public. This is what I'm talking about. This is the future that Oppenheimer saw. The nuclear disaster.
The Marvel versus DC.
What are we at? 1 minute to midnight? Are we at 1 minute to midnight with the doomsday clock? Do they say we're half a millisecond? Where are we at on the doomsday clock, It
is a fucking Armageddon.
So
he must be stopped. Well, no. Well, someone must be stopped.
No, it's too late. It's too late. We're witnessing it. No, don't get me wrong. No one's going to die. We're just witnessing a filmic Armageddon. No one's actually going to die. It's all good.
It doesn't have what Hiroshima here was on here, but is that the biggest one that's ever gone off? Oh, the Tsar bomb.
The Tsar.
Yeah, okay.
So there was the Tsar bomb, and there was another one that was double.
So that was in 61. Love, what are you doing with that, mate? I don't know what you've got there. Nothing. Yeah. Hold on. What are you even doing? Yeah. Yeah, I think there's food in there. So that was in 61, man, and that's the biggest? Imagine what we could do now.
Yeah, but there's been programs, right, to sort of not build them anymore, right?
Yeah, sort of anti-nuclear proliferation movements. But that's 50, right? The next biggest ever was 24.
Megatons.
The top 5.
Yeah, that's what I said before.
The biggest one.
It's the Tsar bomb, and then it's double that for the big boy.
Shit. The biggest one the USA has ever detonated apparently was 15 megatons. So we're dealing with, I think now that we know that we've got it, but no one's, obviously if you don't want to explode something, you have to have a real reason to pop something big as the Tsar bomb, don't you?
Yeah. So they're still doing tests.
Are they? I thought they'd sort of given up on that.
No.
Yeah. So where do they do that? You were saying Australia?
Well, there were some in the middle of Australia. Yep. Nevada cops a few. The Pacific Islands.
Do you know
they moved a whole bunch of people off an island because they're like, we're going to do a bomb here and it's going to be the greatest thing ever. And they sell it to them by saying it's going to be the greatest thing ever. So they move them to another island, blow up the island, they do it in the water. And the fallout fucking went over to their island.
Oh.
The new one. Yeah. SOS.
I mean, that was always when you dabble with fire. The Soviet Union has conducted 3 live nuclear torpedo tests. That sounds fun. A nuclear torpedo. Oof. Yeah, anyway, I don't like to think about it. It is pretty bleak. What is incredible is Oppenheimer was worried about the proliferation of nuclear warfare.
Yeah.
And I think everyone was, right?
Yeah.
It seemed inevitable.
But they're still building the bomb with all haste. You know what I mean? At the same time.
Yes. And look where we are. Who would have thought 2023, no nuclear bombs have been detonated in...
Yeah, probably in part to a lot about what he said and the way it all went down, obviously. But yes, you're right. It's not nuclear Armageddon yet.
Yeah, it's impressive. We've actually done quite well. I mean, we can't pat ourselves on the back, but...
Yeah, I mean, if I'm 3,500 years deep into a Civ 5 game, Civ 6 or whatever, people get nuked, right? It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I've got the materials.
And you're worried about them getting nukes, right? You're worried about Gandhi getting nukes. He nukes everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know they wrote that into his code? The Gandhi. Well, is it Gandhi, the leader of India in Civ 6?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, they've written into his code a tendency to use nukes. So he's more likely to use nukes. So he'll be peaceful with you the whole way through. He's got like a bit of a peace. In his traits, he also has like a peaceful side. So he basically will be friends with you. His aim is to make it to late game and nuke up.
Oh, shit. Gandhi is actually one of the most peaceful leaders in Civ 5, but his artificial intelligence parameters that control building and using of nuclear weapons have the value of 12, which is the highest of any leader. The next 3 leaders have a value of 8, and most leaders have between 4 and 6. There's a Wikipedia called Nuclear Gandhi. Oh, my God.